Good evening. You're listening to the Garden City Community Chat Show with your hosts Carrie, Tom, and Mike. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hello, Garden City and all our surrounding neighbors. Welcome to episode 715 of the Garden City Community Chat Show. It's Thursday, July 31st, 2025, the last day of July, if you can believe that. Wow. So happy you could be with us tonight. We hope you're all safe and doing well. I am your host, Carrie. Also joining me tonight, Garden City's very own and favorite meteorologist, Dr. Tom Iwinski. How you doing, Tom?
Doing well. I mean, it's not too bad of a weather day to end the month of July.
Exactly. Beautiful out there. And let me introduce our surprise guest co-host filling in for Mike tonight. It is Derek Parton from DSD Sports. How you doing?
What's going on, guys? Good evening. Doing well.
Good, good. Thanks for filling in tonight. We appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, anytime. I always love coming on here as a surprise. It's always nice.
All right. Now, Tom will be back shortly with the most current and up-to-date forecast for you. Finally, a break in this heat, so stay tuned for that. Tonight, we'll be talking and chatting with Derek about what else, the latest on the Tigers, their trades, and much more, so stay tuned for that. And then we'll close out the show with Derek and some community announcements for you. We got about 30 of them or so we'll go through them quickly. I also want to mention real quick, if you're watching us live on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and post your questions and comments in the comments section. You can find us live right now at facebook.com/GCChat and over on our YouTube channel. Just search for the Garden City Community Chat Show. You can also email your questions to us at gccommunitychat@gmail.com, and we'll do our best to get those answered for you. Remember, we're here to promote not only our community, but yours as well. And speaking of community, if your community organization or business has any events, announcements, or cancellations you'd like to get out to our listeners, all you have to do is email the details to us at gccommunitychat@gmail.com or message us on Facebook, and we'll be more than happy to pass that along to our listeners. Remember, you're always welcome to come on the show and promote your community, your business, or organization anytime. We also encourage any local business to check out and join the Garden City Business Alliance. See what great things they can do for you. For more information, head on over to their website at gardencitybusinessalliance.org. All right, we're going to get Tom in here now with a check of the latest weather, and then we'll be chatting with Derek from DSD Sports Chat and answering any of your questions, of course. So let's get Tom in here right now. Okay, let's do a check on weather with Doppler Tom. Let's see what he has in store for the rest of this week and the weekend coming up. Tom, take it away. Well, things have calmed down a little bit, huh?
After yesterday's rainy day, yeah, it's definitely a downward trend behind the system, and it's not too shabby going on out there right now. Temperatures are still not looking too bad. They're in the lower 70s right now. The sunshine did come back out after a little bit of a cloudy start to the day, and much of the day kind of was socked in the clouds, but they started to decrease as the day wore on, and our temperatures are in the low 70s at this point. Very nice. Humidity is dropping as well, so again, nothing really too shabby to complain about other than maybe the air quality, but there is a little haze out there if you squint. But otherwise, not too shabby. We're going to remain fairly clear as we go throughout the overnight hours, dropping into the upper 50s. July is definitely not too shabby as we roll into August. Overall, our temperatures will continue to remain relatively seasonable or fall-like, really, dealing with some mid to upper 70s as we get into the 1st of August. So not too shabby of a month starter of August out there. A lot of sunshine mixed in there. Some high-level afternoon cloud cover will build in, but nothing too shabby to really speak of. And then we drop into the upper 50s again for overnight lows as we go into Saturday morning. And this upcoming weekend looks like a pretty good weekend for late summer standards. I mean, it could be atrocious in the month of August when it comes to temperatures, but we're going to remain really nice as we start the weekend on the Saturday. We're definitely going to warm our temperatures back into the mid to upper 70s again with a lot of sunshine. Nothing too exciting to speak about. Lower 60s to start the Sunday morning out. And then we're going to rise our temperatures in the upper 70s to lower 80s on the Sunday to end the weekend. So again, a very nice weekend on tap. Temperatures will be pretty perfect if you ask me. And overall, our humidity won't be as atrociously high as it has been the last couple of weeks. But overall, as we start a new work week on a Monday, you can see the general gist of the trend is remaining relatively constant with our temperatures next week. We're going to be relatively in the low 80s as we start the new work week. Pretty much not going to see a whole lot of action next week. We're probably going to see some mix of clouds and sun as we go throughout much of the work week, especially to start Monday as well. The good news is that that trend in temperatures will continue on the Tuesday as we go into the 5th of August, and our temperatures will remain in the low 80s as well. Overall, there is a low chance of maybe a stray shower or two, but overall that is not going to be a guarantee. A lot of locations will stay dry. It's just as we get a little bit warmer, we could get a little bit more action bubbling up in the atmosphere, but it's not a guarantee that we'll see it. It's probably very isolated and very scattered in nature. So a lot of locations will remain dry as we go into much of next week, but there is going to be some low-end chances for maybe a stray shower or two at times, with our temperatures remaining in the lower 80s into much of next week. And that trend even continues as we go into the end of next week. So as we go into Thursday and Friday, again, our temperatures remain relatively stagnant and consistent, really. Low 80s for high temperatures, upper 60s for low temperatures. And as we go into the Friday, at the end of next week, again, our temperatures, again, very similar. So a very nice week on tap next week, not atrociously hot and very seasonable for this time of year, but there could be maybe a stray shower or two mixed into that. Not really overly concerned about that at this point. Otherwise, we can finally say goodbye to July because it's definitely been a very busy month. I know yesterday was a very rainy day across a lot of locations, and that storm system is continuing to move away from us. Obviously, there isn't too much going on the radar right now. It's fairly quiet across the region. If we go over toward the East Coast, that's where a lot of the heavy rain and flooding is at this point. Overall, It's been very stormy across the mid-Atlantic and up into the Northeast. A lot of flooding mixed in there as well. So that's been kind of the summer. I mean, we just got a little taste of it yesterday with all that heavy rain. There was some flooding mixed in there as well the last couple of days. And overall, this trend is now moving off into the East Coast and even down toward the southeastern United States. A lot of widespread storms as well. So very active still across portions of the eastern U.S., but the central portion of the U.S. is starting to quiet down a little bit of storminess in the west as well. So outside of just the weather in general, the northern tier of the U.S. continues to deal with those air quality alerts, which is something that we're still going to be dealing with as we go into Friday and into Saturday up into our neck of the woods because of the Canadian wildfires that have been consistently bringing bad air quality into the region. And that will continue probably, like I said, earlier in the year, probably throughout the rest of summer. So rounds of that will continue, but not too shabby in the overall aspects of weather going forward. We're finally behind the system that was just bringing us hot and humid conditions, a lot of rainfall mixed in there with flooding as well. So enjoy this weather because this is very nice for late July and early August. So it could be much worse. So, Richard can finally calm down with his temperatures for a bit. So if you want to keep tuned to all my local weather information, just go to my website, dopplertomsweather.com, and it will keep you updated as we continue to roll into August as we start a new month. So head over there.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm loving this weather for sure.
Oh, yeah.
50 going down the 50s. I love it.
I'll take that any day.
Yeah.
Happy August.
Yeah, happy August for sure. All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Absolutely.
Take care.
See you, Tom.
Thanks.
All right. Not too bad. Not too bad. We'll take it, right?
Yeah. Oh man, I would have definitely used this a couple weeks ago for sure. No, this is great as we went into days of summer. Yes. But hey, better late than never. I'll take mid to low 50s in August any day. This is awesome.
Oh my God, yeah, this is awesome. Yeah, for sure.
Not baseball weather though. I don't know if I'd call that maybe fall weather for the fall classic, but not quite in the dog days of summer. We still got one full month of summer baseball left for the Tigers.
Right. So how you doing? You doing all right?
Yeah, doing well, doing really well. Obviously, we just had our show, DSD Sports Chat. We did a live stream about a week or so ago, racked up about 6,000 views. So thanks to all of our fans for listening live and checking us out afterwards. And we also got a live stream that we're going to do a post-trade deadline reaction show tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live. So trying to ramp things back up now that we're kind of settling down with the move and we're getting settled in here now. Got a makeshift studio in the new basement, but for all intents and purposes, we definitely, as the Tigers start to kind of ramp up the end of the season and they start to now win after losing 13 to 14 games, they're back on the winning track. Definitely want to start talking a little bit more Tiger baseball and Lions too, as they start preseason up tonight against the Chargers.
Yeah, they're playing in that Hall of Fame game. So down in Canton, we'll have to keep an eye on that. No starters are starting, which is good.
A lot of rookies.
But we'll be able to see what they have to offer. So who's wanting to make the team and who isn't.
Exactly. That's really what matters most.
We got Michael Bingle in there, and he says the two deals that he liked most were Kyle Finnegan and Charlie Morton. Even though he's 41 years old, he knows how to pitch. He is a veteran. He might bring some experience to that dugout to the rest of the pitchers.
I like Finnegan. He's coming from a really lowly Nationals team. He's led the Nationals in saves the last 3 seasons. He's a former All-Star. He's got 20 saves on this season. That's good enough for 8th best in the league. But his ERA is in the mid-4s. That's kind of what Scott Harris did during the trade deadline, I feel like, this year. And it's what we expected because about a month or so ago, they had him on the morning shows on 97 Win the Ticket. And he played out said, no matter what the record was, he was going to take a conservative approach at the deadline. And he did that. And there was not one pitcher that he got that had an under 4 ERA. That's for sure. Everybody was in the, high to mid 4s. Charlie Morton, who we snagged up there at the very tail end of the deadline, 5.48 ERA, but he's also 7-2 his last 14 starts. So he's on a pretty bad Baltimore Orioles team. Would have been great to have him maybe 4 or 5 years ago when he was still in his prime. But the Tigers right now are dealing with a lot of they got an injury bug going on right now. Reese Olson is now out for the season. Parker Meadows is currently out right now. You still got guys like Jose Uridi, who you picked up in the offseason from Houston, who's dealing with Tommy John. You might see him maybe end of August, early September for the playoffs. But for all intents and purposes, this bullpen is severely depleted, and we needed some of these moves to take place.
Yeah. Well, let's start with some of the early trades here. We got Chris Paddock. He already pitched, right?
Yeah, had his debut the other day, masterful debut. It's really anything that you can ask from him, coming from the Twins.
Yeah.
Again, elevated high 4 ERA, doesn't get a lot of run support. Didn't really when he was at the Twins, but again, had a solid outing, 6 innings, 5 strikeouts, 3 hits, and 1 run earned. I mean, that's really all you can expect from a guy that's going to be probably your 4th starter, maybe even your 3rd best starter, depending on what you see from Casey Mize, who's kind of, he's kind of tailed off his last 2 or 3 starts from what we saw before. But, I know he left early after the second inning there. It was like, I guess, midway through the second, they had some soreness there, maybe in his arm. Hopefully he's not out long term. But, we're kind of turning into the Lions 2.0 this year as far as our pitching is concerned. Our offense has been pretty good, which is also why we didn't, make any position player moves. We didn't.
Well, it was scary there for a while. They're back on track now, it seems. Knock on wood.
I mean, going from scoring 5 runs in 6 games to now scoring almost 40 runs in your last 4. So I mean, they've definitely turned it around. They flipped the switch fairly quickly, and they seem to be right on track. Granted, you did play. A lowly Arizona Diamondbacks team that's struggling mightily, pitching and offensively. And now you got to go on the road to face a hot Phillies team who also just picked up, some really good arm pieces as well. They got a very dangerous offense, and they're amongst one of the top 3 teams in the National League.
Yeah. And how about that kid Melton, man? What a bonus.
With Melton, that was a guy that I think about maybe 10 days ago. A lot of people would say, "Oh, he's on the trading block. Just trade him off." He's a prospect we recently had up. You brought him in a game where he had a very, very rough first 2 or 3 innings, gave up 5 runs. You lost the game. That was when you were kind of in your tailspin there. But his last start, I mean, you can't take that away from him. I mean, he pitched 7 innings, had 7 strikeouts, and he's a fireballer. He's a guy that I think is going to throw heat. He's got put away pitches. He's got great velocity. He's got a lot of movement on his changeup. So, I mean, I like the Melton deal. I think that having him up here as maybe your 4th or 5th starter to kind of slot right there behind or either slightly above Paddock is going to provide that relief in the rotation.
Yeah. All right. Here's the other guy that came over from the Twins with
Randy Dubnyk. He's one that's, I think this is just going to be more of just like a bargain depth piece. He was assigned straight to AA as soon as we signed him. So I think this is a guy that maybe you might see in September call-ups. Right. Again, he's got a mid 2 ERA, hasn't shown a lot of potential in the bigs yet, hasn't shown a lot of time here in his time with Minnesota. But I think maybe by September you might see him when they get the 40-man roster call-ups there late in the month.
Yeah, that's very possible. I think so as well. And then we got from Cleveland.
And Paul Sewald, I mean, this is another guy, another bargain guy. He's a proven MLB pitcher, but also one who's thrown probably only about 15 innings this year. He's on the injured list currently. He's got a shoulder strain. So the Tigers, right after they signed him, they immediately assigned him to the 60-day injured list to clear that 40-man spot for Finnegan. So this means that Sewald won't be eligible to pitch for the Tigers until probably middle of September. So again, this is just kind of like a low-cost lottery ticket. And at the same time, we also DFA'd Matt Manning to make room for him on the roster. So if you remember Matt Manning, another top 5 prospect from a few years ago, this is another, and he's a perfect example for the Tigers fans out there that were thinking, why are we just completely holding on to all of these prospects? Exactly. This is exactly why prospects in this time frame, when the Detroit Tigers are showing signs of being a World Series contender, legitimate World Series contender, why hang on to some of these prospects when you really don't know what you're going to see out of them? Some of these prospects that are top 5, top 10 are already in their mid-20s. And, Max Anderson was a guy that I think you could have probably given up. We'll talk about Eugenio Suarez, who you had a chance at, I think. You bypassed him. He ended up going to Seattle, reuniting with Seattle Mariners. So, and that just bolstered that starting lineup even more of a very, very potent offense. So I was a little disappointed at that. But at the same time, if you really weigh the logic behind it is that you would be giving up probably 2 top 10 prospects to get a 2-month rental because he's gone after this year. You know, you're only getting him for this deep playoff run. You probably won't re-sign it, pick up his contract for next year. So at the end of the day, I think with having Kerry Carpenter back in the lineup, providing that power and that solid contact in your lineup, hopefully every day, that's, I think, what Scott Harris felt like was the fix for this offense.
Yeah. And don't forget that mustache on Green. They got to touch that every day.
Oh, they got everybody's touched it, felt it, stroked it. You know, they got to do whatever it takes. You know, I mean, some players don't change underwear or socks. Riley Green just decided to, craft the mustache, and hey, they won 4 straight. So whatever works, I'm all for it. Touch it. Do not mess with it.
Another Montero from Braves.
Yeah, unrelated actually, but yeah, Rafael Montero from the Braves. Again, we didn't give up much for him. We gave up an infield prospect, Jim Jarvis. Montero just slightly high 4.76 lifetime ERA, but he does have a swing and miss presence. He's got an admirable clip on his fastballs. Yeah. He was stellar for the Astros back in 2022, but he does have one of the higher walk rates in the league. But he is a project that the Tigers hope can get right down the stretch. And again, moving him from a less competitive team like the Braves to the Tigers, and with Chris Fetter working with him in hindsight, you would hope that he can maybe bring that ERA down and be a long-term reliever.
Yeah, with these guys, going from a non-contender to a contender now, that changes them a lot.
Oh, it's a mental thing. I mean, baseball is a game of mental prowess. And I think that, when you see these deals come through, especially when you always got the Yankees and the Dodgers and the Phillies, they're all making moves and they're all getting this, these A and B quality MLB players. And then you see Scott Harris out here getting these bargain basement guys. But at the end of the day, they're coming off of teams like Minnesota, like Atlanta, that are not playing very well, and they don't get run support. Charlie Morton over in who would have thought the Orioles would be one of the worst teams in the league this year?
Really. Yeah.
But at the same time, these are guys that just needed maybe a change of pace. And we saw it with Paddock, Chris Paddock, coming over from the Twins. And like Michael Bengo said, a new lease on life. And that's very, very realistic in Major League Baseball.
Yeah. They don't want to be the ones that are going to bring everybody down. They want to keep it going, so.
Yep. Booster that momentum.
Yeah. Maybe that's pretty good logic. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll find out come September.
And then we talked about Kyle Finnegan from the Nationals.
He's probably your biggest pickup, I would say. I mean, this is probably, he is your Nationals closer. And, we exchanged a couple of low-level pitchers, RJ Sales, Josh Randall. They were our 15th prospect. And really with his 20 saves this season, obviously he's made a lot of appearance. His whiff rate ranks right around mid-pack. It's about 20th percentile in the league. So he doesn't exactly help the Tigers' mission to get more swing and misses late in the innings. But with him coming in here, I feel like he's going to slot into where Tommy Kahnle is currently and provide that setup for Will Vest at closer. So I don't think Finnegan's going to be your new closer. I think Vest has still solidified that role. I would definitely not move him. But Finnegan, I think, can definitely get you that setup role maybe sometime late in the 7th, early 8th inning to, get you to hand the ball over to Vest in a good situation.
Yeah. Bingo says he's 20 out of 24 in save situations.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't blown many saves this year for like I said, being on a very, very weak team offensively, a team that doesn't provide a lot of run support. But in the opportunities that he's had in those 24, he's proven to be pretty well. So I mean, the elevated ERA does come from obviously several starts ago, maybe giving up 2 or 3 runs in an inning. But for the most part, though, I think that it would have been great to have a guy like Finnegan maybe 3 or 4 years ago when, again, he was in his prime. He's, again, another, 33, 34-year-old pitcher, but he's going to provide that added depth that this bullpen needs because Tommy Kahnle's been exposed recently, and we do need that replacement setup, man. So
you think Finnegan's then going to be a setup for Vest?
I think so. I'm thinking probably rotate him in and out between setup and long-term reliever. I think he could get you, either maybe an inning and a half or maybe even 2 innings possible, depending on what kind of a lead you have, or if you really just need him in a pinch. But I mean, I think that signing right there is probably your B to B minus signing. I think overall grade I would give it is about a C to a C minus. I don't think anything was too flashy because it's also too early to tell. We're judging these guys based off of just their overall stats, ERA, and what team they came from. But like you said, I mean, you give these guys a change of pace, new lease on life, and who knows, they could be heroes come September.
You think he'll be happy with that role as a setup to Vest? He's got to know Vest.
I think so. right now, I mean, you're coming from basically garbage and you're coming to now a true contender. I mean, you've added about 15 wins to your arsenal coming from the Nationals to the Tigers, and you're one of the top 3 teams in all of baseball. So I think whatever role they slot him into, he'll be more than happy to take it on. And I mean, even if there is a chance that, if you have, let's say you bring him in and you have like a 5 or 6 run lead where you don't need to bring in Will Vest, you might see Finnegan come in that situation in the 9th inning to close out the game. So I think wherever they decide to slot him in, he'll pitch and he'll be fine with it.
Right. Okay. Let's see. And then of course, Matt Manning designated.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate. I mean, it's not a huge loss, obviously. I mean, but it kind of just raises the questions of what could have been. I think Matt Manning was once a number 9 overall pick. I mean, he was touted as the top prospect in all of baseball and in your farm system, but his development just never clicked with this team. I mean, he leaves the organization. He played 50 career games, had a 4.43 ERA. He just didn't pan out. Injuries were racking up. His velocity was just all over the place. His control he didn't fit the mold here. It's unfortunate because I really want him to fit in because he was coming up that same time as Casey Mize and, Matt Boyd and all those guys. Now look at Matt Boyd playing, he's the ace over there in Chicago Cubs. So some prospects make it and some just don't. I mean, usually when they're right at that upper echelon in the top 10 of picks, they usually do pan out pretty well, but Matt Manning just couldn't get it going. And, wish him luck. Hopefully he does figure it out somewhere else, but it won't be here.
And then we have, of course, last minute trade with Charlie Morton. Lot of experience there.
I kind of dogged it as soon as I saw it come through because as soon as I saw his age, I kind of was blown away because I'm like, oh damn, 41. Why didn't you just sign Verlander? I mean, he's actually been pitching halfway decent for the Giants, but I think they're going to probably save him for maybe next year when he signs a one-day contract and retires a Tiger. But no, I think Charlie Morton is going to slot in there, and I think you're going to see him out of the bullpen. I definitely don't think you're going to slot him in there as a starting role. You might maybe have him make a spot start if we do have maybe pitching chaos later on in the season. But, I think with Morton, you get a guy that does get to stay in there quite long. I mean, he can still pitch you 5 or 6 innings, and he does. He has a very, very good breaking ball. Fastball is not really what it used to be, but he is also 7-2 in his last 13 starts. So he does he stays in games long enough to get decisions. And he's also been on a very, very weak Baltimore Orioles team. So I think that, I think you're going to see him kind of go in between the bullpen, and I think you're also going to see him make some spot starts here and there, but there'll be a spot for him for sure with this bullpen.
He could do long relief too.
Yeah. If you want 2 or 3 innings out of him out of the bullpen, I think he would do that in a pinch. I mean, definitely at 41, he's definitely not slowing down, and just like Justin Verlander is. So, I mean, I'm okay with it. I think it was an okay move at the very, very last minute of the deadline. But again, nothing really wowed me from the Scott Harris moves, as I really didn't expect much. Once I saw that we were not able to make a move for Eugenio Suarez, I kind of figured that we were going to be making pretty conservative moves.
Michael Bingo thinks he's going to start. I don't know. We'll see.
Like I said, I mean, he's probably going to be kind of like that Kiter Montero role. Also, like with Sawyer Gipson-Long, I think you're going to see the spot starts here and there because really we only have a true, 3-man rotation as it relates to, obviously you have Skubal, you have Jack Flaherty, you have Casey Mize. But if Casey Mize goes down, has to spend any time on the disabled list, then you're gonna definitely be seeing Paddock share some time, maybe with Morton. So. Pitching chaos might be happening here as we get into the end of the summer into early fall.
All right. Well, we got a 9-game lead over the Guardians, 9.5 over the Royals, and 12 over the Twins. Guardians and the Twins are not playing tonight.
Right.
They're playing each other actually tomorrow.
Yeah. So I mean, really at this point, and both teams really, I mean, they were major sellers at the deadline. Obviously, Cleveland Guardians, they got rid of who was it? Bieber. Shane Bieber got traded away. I don't believe Stephen Kwan got traded away. I know they were talking about him, and also with Smith and their bullpen. But the Twins obviously they just unloaded their star closer reliever in Johan Duran. He just went over to the Phillies, so that's just going to bolster that bullpen. Probably one of the best closers in the game right now. So yeah, I mean, Twins definitely are throwing in the towel for the season. As far as I'm concerned, the Guardians kind of doing the same thing. So it helps you as far as winning the division. I mean, if there was any inkling that this division was ever going to be stolen, it's probably not going to happen because, the Guardians and Twins completely just sold off their roster at the deadline. But yeah, I mean, things got hairy when we lost, 13 or 14 games. Our lead was cut down to around 7. I think it was right around 7 or 6.5. I don't remember how low it got, but it got very hairy there for a few.
Yeah,
but
really.
Seems like we ride the ship, but you also can't fall into obscurity. You have to keep the pedal down. You have to take 2 out of 3 from the Phillies. They're a very, very tough team, especially at home. Bryce Harper is good. Kyle Schwarber. These are guys that have major pop in their bat. They've got great pitching. So yeah, I mean, I would expect, at least 2 out of 3 of these games to be relatively low scoring because you're going to see Skubal, you're going to see Flaherty in these games. So yeah, you definitely got to try to steal 2 out of 3 in this one.
Yeah, Phillies are 61-47. So I mean, that's going to be a real test for us.
Yep, absolutely.
Coming off a sweep of Arizona, that's kind of a confidence builder. Got the monkey off their back, hopefully.
Yeah, you got your monkey off your back. You stole that last game against Toronto, who's now in a tailspin of their own. They've lost, I think, 4 out of 5. So I mean, they're definitely not looking too good. After they for a cup of coffee, they were the best team in the league for maybe 2 games, and now all of a sudden they've just tailed off. So.
Yeah, and they were beating the best team in the league too. So
yeah, that's how baseball. It is a long season. There's the reason why they play.
The Dodgers.
Dodgers have a very, very depleted team with injuries right now from the top to the bottom, that team. And, they didn't make any real significant moves at the deadline because I feel like that nucleus knows that they are good enough once they get everybody back from injury that they're going to be a World Series contender. They are still, even though they're currently, I think, 5th or 6th best in baseball, and they've lost, I think, maybe 15 of their last 20 games, they are still the odds-on favorite to win the World Series. That's just how it is. And, it's just – the Yankees are also going to be there as well. They signed Ryan McMahon at the deadline. They're a team that they're always going to be there too. But they also have Aaron Judge currently on the injured list with a sore elbow. So without Judge, that's going to be very, very tough with a team that already has offensive problems.
Let me tell you, coming down the stretch, it's all coming down to who's going to stay healthy. It's really, really important for us.
Why it's a game of play 162 games. There's a reason why that you play for 5 months out of the year. I mean, it's a stretch. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint by any means, even though we got off to the fast start to the season. We had our adversity, and I feel like we needed that. As much as I dogged the hell out of them, I wasn't asking to lose 13 or 14 games by any means, but at the same time, we needed that adversity. We needed to get a shot in that arm to say, hey, look, we're not good enough in our bullpen right now. Our bullpen is so weak. It got us off to a great start at the beginning of the season, but as time rolled on, the magic wore off. Even though I'm not trying to discredit that we played 162 full games and we won 100 of them, dating back from last year all the way to this year. So we played a full season, and we can't say that this team was just a flash in the pan. They are for real. They are a good enough team, I think, to make it to a World Series. If they can win it, that's still left to be decided, but the bullpen definitely is the biggest, weakest point of this team. Your offense is high tier offense, but also when you look at that offense, you got to get more than just Kerry Carpenter, Torque, and Riley Green hitting home runs. You also got to get guys cut down on the strikeouts. Riley Green is your best power hitter on this team as far as that with 26 home runs, but he also has the most strikeouts in the league. Not good.
Yeah. No. Well, how do you think Hinch is handling the team and the pitching?
I think that, and I've talked about this with, Danny and Steve on our show, is that it's really something. Without AJ Hinch, this team is below 500. I still believe that. I think Hinch is still one of the top 5 managers in all of baseball. I think that this team, he molds well to this team and they listen to him. And it's kind of like Jim Leyland 2.0. He doesn't have the aggressive attitude like Jim Leyland does, where, you sit up and take notice, but we don't also know what goes on in the clubhouse every game after a win or a loss. But I feel like a lot of the mental turnaround is in part to AJ Hinch. I feel like he keeps these guys' heads in the game, keeps them pressing forward, and doesn't let them dwell too hard on a loss or 13 or 14 losses for that matter. But at the same time, I feel like there have been a handful of games this year where AJ Hinch has made questionable decisions that has cost us ball games. I can maybe count 5 or 6. Maybe ones that you left Skubal in and you pulled them too soon. I feel like he has made questionable moves during games that have cost us either a win or several runs.
Yeah.
So, he doesn't throw chairs around. He doesn't show his anger a lot. When he's upset just by the tone of his voice, but his actions, I feel like they speak louder than his words. What we see in front of the camera in a post-game presser is very, very cool, mild-mannered. But his word gets the point across, and it obviously has led to a 65-win team. So, they're playing their hearts out, and they're a very, very good ball club. And if you were to ask me today if they have what it takes to win a World Series, I don't know. I don't think they do. I think I would have liked to get that last right-handed bat. I would have loved to have had. The way I look at it is that you're in a win now mode, and you have these prospects that you are unsure about. Max Clark and McGonigal are still maybe 1 to 2 years away, and you got guys that are already in their mid-20s. I can't keep stash piling these prospects. It's just like Red Wings and Steve Yzerman, the prospects. Why we continue to hang on to prospects, I don't get it.
I don't either.
You have an opportunity in baseball. It comes around so few and far between. Baseball is one of the hardest games to make it to a World Series and to win the whole thing. And the Tigers these last 2 years have now improved to a point where you have the cap space, you have the availability to spend money, spend it. I would give up 2 or 3 top 10 prospects to get a rental player. I don't care at this point. You're in a window. You're in maybe a two-year window. Skubal, let's call it what it is. Tarek Skubal's leaving this team after next year. I'm sorry to say it. You're not paying him $400 million. The way that Scott Harris is pinch pennies as it is right now, there's no way. There's no way that they're gonna re-sign him to $400 million deal. He's gonna want $400 million for probably 7 to 8 years, and a guy that's gonna be 38 years old at the end of that contract. It's going to be a Miggy contract all over again. You're not going to get the best out of him. I feel like you got maybe 3 to 4 more years of peak Tarek Skubal pitching, because he also had a Tommy John injury. He didn't have surgery, but he had a very similar Tommy John injury.
Right.
And I really think that, this is kind of his time to shine. And I don't think you're going to see him long-term in a Tigers uniform. So I feel like after next year, if you don't do something drastic to replace Skubal and improve this offense and start signing guys, you're going to fall back into obscurity. I hate to say it.
Yep, exactly. Well, Hinch has got them all playing though. So let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best.
100%.
Annette McNeil, she doesn't think they have enough to win the World Series either, unfortunately.
Baseball is a crazy game. And look at what happened last year, the timely hitting, the timely pitching. We had pitching chaos. We literally had Skubal, and that was it. Let's look back at last year. Tarek Skubal was literally your only everyday starter from probably end of June all the way through to October. And, we made it through with pitching chaos and a great bullpen, but it was timely. And they got exposed later on into this season. And, you've been proven that it's just the bullpen is not as good on paper as they have shown. I think that they've been playing way above their skill set level. And I think that they've just gotten really, really lucky. But this is maybe a B to B minus bullpen. They're not that great. And I think that hopefully the moves that you made today to improve it, they're small improvements. But again, this is change of pace for a lot of players that came from really, really bad teams. And I think you have improved the bullpen from what it was before today. But time will tell if it really is a long-term payoff and if it can get you deeper into the playoffs this year than it did last year.
Yep. Stranger things have happened. You just never know. Like you said, it's a crazy game, isn't it?
Yep. That's why we play 162 of them.
Right. Last check of the Lions game, they were losing 7-0 in the first quarter. So
it's no surprise. I figured it was probably going to be like a 10-7 or maybe like a 13-7 type of game. I think it's going to be a snooze fest. And again, it's background noise for a lot of people. This is just for your true diehard football fans that have missed football for the last several months. But, hey, we got an extra preseason game out of it. We played 4 instead of 3.
And to see the inductees too, So.
Oh, yeah. It's always fun. I'll watch it back later on replay.
Yeah, I will. So what do you think of the Lions this year? What are their chances? They go into the Super Bowl or what?
Oh man, that's so tough to predict right now.
Hungry?
I think the hunger is still there. Absolutely. I just, coming from what I've seen, the footage so far from training camp and how aggressive they've been. Hell, we've had guys having to sit out twice because they were playing too rough on each other. Dan Campbell's had to sit guys because guys were taking each other's heads off. And we have a small injury bug running through the locker room, but nothing too catastrophic. Obviously, Hutch coming off of that leg injury is going to be telling. The first few games, I think, will be a little bit rusty coming back. but
Good
I
coach.
think that, I think that they're still there. I think that they're going to regress total wins. I think that asking for 14, 15 wins again is just very unrealistic,
Yeah.
especially with when you have like literally the third hardest schedule in the entire
Oh,
league. I mean,
tough schedule.
you're playing 6 playoff teams from last year, and
Yep.
you're playing also the 2 teams in the Super Bowl. So it's just, I really think that they're between a 10 to 11 win team. I don't know if they're going to win the division. If I were to predict today, I'd say they don't. I think the Packers are going to win the division. Or even Minnesota could sneak in there. You never know. But a lot of question marks this year, especially surrounding the NFC North. Will the Lions win the division? Will we see Ben Johnson lead the Bears to 9-10 wins? Maybe they might be a surprise wild card team. And will the Packers go all the way? I don't know. There's so many things to really look on and look and see, like, hey, we did better ourselves, I feel like, slightly in the offseason, and with getting all these guys that were injured last year back on this team. But losing both your coordinators, I do like what I've seen out of John Morton. I think that the players respect him. And also Calvin Shepard. I think that obviously staying with that nucleus, you hired him within, you promoted him. He did get to be tutelaged under Aaron Glenn. So the players, they obviously know what kind of a scheme they're getting there. But, offensively, Jared Goff he's been marred. He's been married to Ben Johnson for so many years. And I just feel like this is going to be a huge pivot for him. So we'll see what happens.
He's been there before. So
he has. And he did mold that Broncos offense.
I think the only question mark that I have really is the offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, offensive line, you lost Frank Ragnow. Obviously, that's going to be a major hole, but I think you're going to see possibly Graham Glasgow shift over there to center. I think that's probably going to be a lot of pressure on him, because the center is a very, very important spot on this team. It's probably probably the most important spot next to quarterback on that offense, because
it really is.
You're holding back everybody at that point. You're the first one to the ball. You're the first one to touch the ball. So yeah, losing Ragnow hurts, but I think that this team's going to be able to pivot in a way that they can fill that void. And I think that they'll be fine on the offensive side. Defense is going to be interesting. Obviously, not a lot of help with Hutch now coming back. Not signing Smith back. I really thought that they were going to continue with Smith. But we'll see. We might make some late season signings before the regular season starts, but it's going to be really telling this year. I think that the grit, the hunger, they definitely want to have another coming out party this year, considering how last year's season ended with a disappointment, not winning a playoff game. But Washington's going to be tough again this year. You got a second season coming over there, and it's just they're going to be. Jaden Daniels is going to be hungry again. And he's got ice run through those veins. So watch out for Washington. There's so many favorites this year. I can't even pick one.
I know it. It's going to be it's a tough schedule. And that offensive line has to protect Goff, because, he's not a scrambling quarterback. He's a pocket thrower, and
he's a pocket pressured guy, and he does not scramble much out of that pocket, just like Matthew Stafford didn't. And it's just like, hopefully Johnny Morton's worked with him on that, done some kind of drills to get him to at least move his feet, because he cannot eat the ball as much as he did last year. And a lot of those rushes in the pocket did lead to that 5 interception game against the Texans. So you can't see that again. You can't have that against teams like Philadelphia, Kansas City, Baltimore. I mean, these are teams that are going to eat you alive. And, I wouldn't be surprised in the first 6 games if we start off 3-3. I think we'd be lucky to start 3-3, honestly, but it won't be the end of the world. Get the hard schedule, get the hard teams out of the way early, and then hopefully have a good run down the stretch.
Our weak spot last year was the secondary. Do you think they've improved that?
I think so. I mean, Amik Robertson, I think was a huge part to that, and obviously it was a detriment getting injured in that playoff game to Washington. And he was a spark that kind of got us to where we were at the end of last season, and then obviously that season before that when we went all the way to the NFC Championship game. So I think we're going to see a lot from him. Tyrion Arnold, I feel like his presence has got to be more felt. I feel like just getting in that secondary patterns. I feel like he was caught flat-footed a lot last year, and I feel like his penalties have to cut down too. A lot of holding penalties last season. So I think if he cuts that down, I think that you're going to see a vast improvement. Maybe he has the potential to be a top 10 corner in this league. I haven't seen it yet, but hopefully through the first few weeks of the season, we'll start to see some prowess there.
Yeah, hopefully they worked with him on that. And what can you say about our backfield? I mean, come on, man. We
It's
got
one of the best in all the
team.
league.
Oh,
Led by Penei Sewell. I mean, it's just this is a team that it's from top to bottom. I mean, they really are a complete team. There are some holes. Every team has holes. It really all just depends on who's going to pick up the slack. And I think that we have the coaching staff and we have the right team to do that. It's going to be tough. I mean, there is no cakewalk in this schedule whatsoever. It's daunting when you look at it from top to bottom, and you just got to hope that we can escape at the very end of the season with 10, 11 wins and make the playoffs. I'll be okay with that. I'll be okay with a wild card berth if it means flying under the radar. I'd be okay with not winning the division, whatever it takes to get to the Super Bowl and make the playoffs as kind of that under the radar team. I'll take it.
Yep. I agree. Just make the playoffs, man. That's the first thing.
I don't care about the stats. You're not going to see a 15-win season, I feel like, anytime soon from this team. And so we got that out of the way. That's our consolation trophy. And so now it's Super Bowl or bust. That's your expectation moving forward.
And as with any sport, you got to stay healthy, man.
No, you can't have what you had last year. 23 guys on the injured reserve list. Can't happen again. I feel like it won't happen again. That was few and far between. That's fluky stuff that you see. I mean, no team in the league was anywhere close to that.
Very rare. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
we should be
11 wins, 12 wins, 10.
I'm going to go conservative. I'm going to say that they're going to go 11-6. I think anywhere between 10 and 12 is a safe bet. I think their over under in Vegas is 10.5, and I think that's right in line with what they're going to end up with. And I think 11 wins seems pretty realistic. So, both games are going to be tough against Chicago. That's your home opener. You got to win one of those. You got to beat the Packers, one of the two. Vikings are always going to be tough. So, I mean, it's just this division. I mean, really, you got teams in this division that could win as low as 5 games and could win as much as 14 or 15 games. Any one of these teams can do it. So, I mean, it's so crazy. It depends, like you said, on injuries, consistency, who's hungry enough, turnovers. Just JJ McCarthy now in the starting role with Minnesota, a full season with him, with obviously Justin Jefferson in the backfield. So it's going to be really a lot of competitiveness in that NFC North this year.
Yep. Very, very tough division for sure, Michael.
Yep.
You got that right. Yeah. If they get 11 wins, 12 or 11 wins, I'll be shocked, really.
11 wins to me would be an A season. I mean, I think 11 wins, even if you don't win the division, I think that's honestly going to be a very, very stellar season considering what the schedule is. Yeah. And that is only going to open the door to a very, very promising playoff push because, I mean, depending on who you actually won those games against, if they are against teams like, Philadelphia, Kansas City, Baltimore, or even the Bengals. I mean, these are all high-powered offensive teams. Not a lot of great defense aside maybe from Philadelphia, but I mean, if they can knock out those kind of teams, I'm very optimistic about a long playoff run this year.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's hope they prove us wrong. That's for sure.
100%.
Michael Bingle, I will dance the jig if that happens.
I'll run around my house naked. I mean, I'll save that for the Super Bowl. I'll wait for the Super Bowl for that to happen.
TMI. Just pull the shades. Okay? All right, we'll talk.
I did that for the Red Wings last victory.
Yeah, before we move on, let's talk about the Wings briefly. Can we say that this is Yzerman's swan song? If they don't make the playoffs this year, is he gone?
Cut him. I mean, it's not going to happen realistically, but in my mind, and I think on a lot of just like the average Detroit sports fan and many fans of Red Wing hockey over the years, I don't know how you can give him another year. I mean, he will literally be under year 8. This is year 7.
You got to win, man. You got to make the playoffs.
He gets a lifetime immunity, I feel like, and it's only because he is the captain. He's Stevie Y. Yeah, and it's the amount of love and respect that he's had under his name, and unfortunately, this is still a business. I don't care if you've been the most beloved Detroit sports figure in this town over the last 3-4 decades. It doesn't matter. You're running this team. This is the business, and this is what the fans are going to remember you by. And he inherited almost a ready-made Tampa Bay Lightning team, from 7-8 years ago. and, led them to 2 Stanley Cups. And I mean, yeah, he did also draft players, but a lot of those players that were on that team that won cups and are still on that team were not drafted by Steve Yzerman. And so, Yzerman is just, to me, again, just like what Scott Harris epitomizes, is just like the bargain shopping, depth signings, trying to clear up cap space for whatever reason, whether it be just re-signing our current veterans or just, I don't know what he's stockpiling this money for, but I really don't understand it. The team on paper, I feel like, is good enough to just make the playoffs. And in hockey, in the NHL specifically, I feel like it's not that hard to make the playoffs. So for this team to miss the playoffs 8 straight seasons is pretty pathetic.
That is.
I feel like we had a team the last 2 years that could have made the playoffs on paper, and we failed. I mean, we lost, I think, 5 of 6 games 2 years ago, and then we obviously missed the playoffs last year by, I don't know what it was, 4, 5, 6 points. So we should not even be that far off. I mean, this is a team that should be making it as a 7th or 8th seed, no question about it. We did solidify our goaltending. I feel like our biggest step forward in the offseason was signing John Gibson. Obviously getting Peter Mrazek off the team, getting Alex Lyon off this team, and now you're going to be rolling with Cam Talbot and John Gibson. So you have your goaltending situation, I feel like, decent enough to wait for Sebastian Cossa if and when he ever comes up, because that's a guy also he's 23 years old. There's still rumors floating around that he's not ready yet. And why? And the biggest question mark I had was last year we were eliminated with 4 games left in the season. Why we didn't play Sebastian Cossa in those final 4 games was mind-blowing to me. Why you would not bring him up and play those final 4 games, dip his toes into the ice, get him NHL experience. I don't get it. I think that was the biggest, question mark that I had in the end of the season. But this is literally – we talk about Lions Super Bowl or bust. This is Red Wings playoff or bust. Absolutely.
It is. Yeah, Red Wing fans want a winner. They want a winner. They want to cheer again. And just like the Tigers and the Wings, to me, it seems that they put all their eggs in their farm system basket, and you just can't.
I don't get it.
You can't.
If it's not prospect hoarding, it's just they're hoarding on prospects, and I don't know what they are hoarding them for, because they have a 62% success rate. The most average top 10 prospect has about a 60% success rate in this league, and I just don't understand. And I see Michael Bengals comment about Kirk Maltby talking about Jacob Wallman. I definitely would like to know what the true story is behind that, because Steve Yzerman in his press conference at the end of last year completely brushed that off and didn't want to talk about it. So I don't know what it is. I really don't know why Jake Wallman was traded so randomly 2 years ago when we actually did lose our playoff wild card spot. That's a telling story that I think a lot of fans want to know why, because he ended up going over to Edmonton and made it to a Stanley Cup final this year. So I'm not saying he was a savior on defense, but I think now in another season, he could have been that molding piece to help Mo Seider on the blue line, because God knows he needs help.
So I don't know. What do you think with the team they have now? I mean, are they going to make the playoffs this year? I don't know.
I think they will. I think it has to happen. I think now that I feel like John Gibson is good enough to get you probably those extra 3 or 4 wins that you missed last year that could have got you that wild card spot. But also you got Patrick Kane back again for a 3rd full season as a Red Wing, but he's also not getting any younger. He'll be 37 next year. The hip seems to be doing great things for him. And I mean, he's still a guy that can get you 20 to 25 goals. You match him up on a line with the DeBrincat. I think that the James Van Riemsdyk signing was decent. It would have been great to have him 4 or 5 years ago. But at the same time, I feel like that could also be Vladimir Tarasenko 2.0. And we saw what happened with Tarasenko. He did not pan out whatsoever. That was a waste of $3 million right there. You might as well have just set it on fire. So the signings are always questionable. They are bargain basement signings. They're nothing flashy. We obviously had no shot at getting Mitch Marner at the trade deadline or at the free agent signings of the end of the season. But I don't think he was ever going to come to a team like us. I think he wanted to be on a team like Vegas that was a contender already. I don't think he wanted to be on a rebuilding team. But, God knows our defense is depleted. We definitely need the depth. We need a score on defense. And we really need to see, I think, in my opinion, a 30 to 40 goal scorer. Will DeBrincat be that guy? He has scored 30 goals in the past, but we need a 40-goal scorer. And I hate to say this, but it's been widely speculated that, Dylan Larkin to me is just not captain material. And there's a reason why they waited 2 years to name him as a captain when Henrik Zetterberg retired. Is that I don't think it had anything to do with his age, because Steve Yzerman was named captain at 19 years old or 18 years old. But I just don't see the leadership out of Dylan Larkin that I really, really want to see out of him. We saw him tail off after the Four Nations tournament, which is really what started our downward spiral to missing the playoffs, because before the Four Nations, we were 5 points up. We had a 5-point lead in the playoff in the wild card standings, and we were solidly in. And then we saw what happened there. Larkin went on a skid, Raymond went on a skid, Seider went on a skid. So This year you don't have Four Nations. You have the Olympic break that comes up in January. So you can't be that team again. You can't do that. You can't have these guys go into the Olympics, come back, and then just completely crap the bed. So it's going to be telling. Yes. It really is. Are these guys good enough? I think they're good enough, but they have to stay focused, and they cannot fall into obscure long-term slumps to cost this team wins in the long run.
What's sad is to see how all these expansion teams are doing so well, and the Wings that have been around for years and years can't even make the playoffs for 8 years. I mean,
original six.
That is sad.
Yeah. That was one thing that pissed me off the most, was about the Vegas Golden Knights. Literally came in here as an expansion team, had basically drafted all their players, were able to acquire all these players from other teams, and they've already won a Stanley Cup. They've been in the league for 6 years, 7 years, and they've already won a cup. They've been to 2 Stanley Cup finals. They've made the playoffs, I feel like, every year. Seattle Kraken aren't that bad. And then Winnipeg Jets, at the same time, they're also, having success. So, I mean, I don't know. I really, really don't know. It's something that the Red Wings just have to figure out, how to play long-term successful hockey without falling into these slumps, and find a way to make the playoffs, because this is make it or break it year for them.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to have to move on. We're at an hour already, and we still have some announcements to do. I think we covered
I get those announcements.
What we wanted to, but right now I just wanted to mention that the next city council meeting is going to be Monday, April 4th at 7 p.m. in the council chambers, located at 6000 Middlebelt Road. These meetings are a good way for you to get involved and voice any concerns you may have as well. All right, we're going to get Derek in here now. We'll get you caught up on some community events happening in our community, and we're not going to make you sing.
It's been too long. That's a bad idea. I'd have to really test up the old vocal cords. That's long gone.
All right, here we go. We're going to start with the number one here.
You're lucky that I've still been staying in touch with a lot of the Garden City Facebook pages, that I kind of know what's been going on around town. So this is
you do. You stay in touch. Yeah, you've been watching the meetings.
Oh, I still watch the council meetings. Absolutely. This is a good one. Days of Gardening at the Radcliffe Center, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. So looking for volunteers, drop in and come into the Radcliffe Center, show off your gardening skills, help support our local food pantry while also checking off these volunteer hours. So if you have any questions, please give them a call at 734-793-1850. That's the garden's located on the southwest side of the Radcliffe Center building. That's 1751 Radcliffe Street in Garden City, Michigan, 48135. Also now booking at the Garden City Ice Arena, birthday parties, private party rooms, ice skating, fun for all ages, memorable stress-free celebrations. The dates are filling up fast, so reserve your spots today. Give them a call at 734-793-1882 or go to www.gardencitymi.org/icearena/birthday. Book now.
All right.
And also at the Rec Center, Chat at the Rec is taking place every Monday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Looking for some good discussions. Go ahead and stop on by to chat over some coffee and tea. That's located at 1751 Radcliffe Street in Garden City. Also learn about the Senior Center and events. You can scan that QR code there on the screen. And if you have any questions, give the Rec Center a call at 734-793-1850. Also, Tech Talk with Julie for free tech assistance, ages 50 and up. You can get help with your laptops, your phones, Android and iPhones, email, or any tech issue you would like to discuss. They're offering drop-ins on every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. If you have any questions, call the Garden City Senior Center at 734-793-1850. That's located at the Garden City Senior Center, 1751 Radcliffe Street here in Garden City.
Yeah, this is a good thing for seniors because they're so intimidated by technology.
Just like you just said right there, tech. Couldn't even get it out of the mouth.
I couldn't get it out of my mouth.
Looks like local business here. The Carpet Cleaner LLC. Benefits of carpet cleaning. They remove dirt and allergens. They improve the indoor air quality and enhance your appearance of your rooms. They have a 4-room special going on, so give them a call at 734-299-6496. That's the Carpet Cleaner LLC right here in Garden City.
Yep, that's Dennis Dykman is the owner. He's been on the show before. Good guy.
And also the Straight Farmhouse, they always have exciting events going on. If you want to check them out, they're open every Wednesday and Saturday from noon to 3 p.m. located at 6221 Merriman Road. If you want to learn more about the event information, just go to their website at straightfarmhouse.org.
Yeah, they have so many things going on. It's unbelievable.
This next one is show us your artwork. You can pick up your sidewalk chalk from Garden City City Hall and create your artwork on any city sidewalk. If you just take a photo and share it on Facebook using the hashtag GC Sidewalk, you can email them a photo of your artwork and send it to sidewalk@gardencitymi.org. Your sidewalk chalk artwork will be emailed to them, and they'll be featuring on the city's social media and websites. I saw that announced, I think, at one of the council meetings. That's actually a really, really cool idea.
Yeah, because we got a lot of sidewalks now.
Not many kids get out and do the sidewalk chalk thing anymore, so that is nice to see, kind of bring the youth back into it.
Yeah.
And then also there's a penny bingo going on at the Garden City Senior Center the first and fourth Wednesday of every month at Radcliffe Center from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. It's 25 cents per bingo card. You can bring a lot of your pennies, even though they're not making them anymore. I know you got them in your drawers. Pennies are used as bingo markers. This is for ages 50 and older, located at the Garden City Radcliffe Center, again, at 1751 Radcliffe Street in Garden City. If you have any questions, just give them a call at 734-793-1850.
Yep.
And there's if you have any advertisements, looking for new dashboard advertisements at the Garden City Ice Arena, it'd be an 8-foot by 3-foot advertisement marker located at the Ice Arena. It's $185 for a 1-year advertisement, $235 for 2 years, and $285 for 3 years. So you can give the Parks and Rec department a call at 734-793-1886 or email them at parks@gardencitymi.org.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah, it is. Did you ever have a Garden City Community Chat logo on the dashers there? Or am I thinking, was that
the GCBA when I was president?
That's right.
Yep.
Nice. And then Wayne County Veteran Services is every Tuesday and Thursday located at the Garden City Radcliffe Center from 8:30 a.m. To 4:30 p.m. That's located at 1751 Radcliffe Street in Garden City. Please call Wayne County to make an appointment at 313-506-0302. Their mission of the Veteran Services Group is to provide financial hardship and support services to Wayne County honorable discharge veterans and their families so they can meet their basic needs. Also, American Legion Department of Veteran Affairs, they meet every Tuesday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Don't face the VA alone. Speak with a veteran service officer to see about your veterans' benefits. Please call them at 313-964-6640 or 517-243-5991 to make an appointment. That's also located at the Garden City Radcliffe Center.
Michael Bingle wanted you to know that Wallman was not a team player. He was a sore wound on the team. And that's why they got
I was looking at the comments, and that, to me, that doesn't surprise me, only because I saw how much of a head case he was in the Cup final with Edmonton, and he did show a lot of his aggression. So yeah, maybe it just didn't fit in with our prowess on the current team.
Yeah, probably brought the team down.
Oh, this is a good one for your masonry needs. Contact Ace Masonry, 30 years experience, brick, block, and stone. Jay Piner is the owner. You can contact him at 734-469-0633. Their motto is, when the scaffold comes down, the only thing left to stand on is the craftsmanship. And that's so true. It's very hard to find good masons. I think I stumbled across their name on Google recently, because I know we're looking to have our couple blocks on our sidewalk repaired. So they might be one to give a call to.
Yeah, good guy. He was on the show too.
Nice. The Michigan Railroad Club, they meet first Wednesday of every month from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Is this also at the, where's this at? Is it Parks and Rec? Is this at City Hall?
Yep, Radcliffe Center.
Radcliffe Center? Okay, it is free. So, you can just park in the south parking lot and enter through its east door. If you're passionate about trains, tracks, and the rich railroad history of Michigan, go ahead and join the Michigan Railroad Club, where we explore everything related to Michigan railroads, as they are always accepting new members. If you have any questions, just give them a call at 734-793-1850. And the craft show coming up here at 1217 Merriman Road in Westland, 48186, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can discover unique treasures, handmade goods, amazing deals. It is free entry for all around. Raffles. They're going to have high quality food trucks, handmade 3D toys, freeze-dried candy, much more. Over 50 vendors and lots of crafts, Tupperware, Sensi's, Pampered Chef, and Tallow soaps. They're going to have all the stuff for all ages and definitely all craft groups. So they're also collecting pet supplies, towels, blankets, and kitty litter and dog food and cat food as well. So if you have any questions, any vendor details, if you want to be a vendor, just email showingoffwithjamie@gmail.com. And King Cone and the original Dairy Dan have a Customer Appreciation Day coming up, free family fun event. Definitely want to mark your calendars for this one, Sunday, August 3rd. That's coming up this weekend at the original Dairy Dan at 35705 Ford Road in Westland from 5 to 8 p.m. They're going to have a clown night full of face painting, balloon twisting, petting farm, horse rides and pony rides, along with bouncy houses and train rides. So a lot of fun for the kids. So come on up to the original Dairy Dan located in Westland.
Yeah.
And it looks like the Parks and Rec is having their kickball league that's going to be kicking off here. Games starting on August 8th. It's $250 per team, 8 games plus the playoffs. Games are on every Friday night. And all games are going to be held at Garden City Park. If you want to learn more, just visit gardencitymi.org/parks/adult kickball to learn more or to sign up.
Yeah.
Boogie's Biscuits second annual Bark-BQ. That's Bark-BQ, barbecue at the Good Hope Lutheran Church, 28680 Cherry Hill Road in Garden City. They're going to have food trucks, sweet treats, dog treats, vendors, and raffle happening. That's August 9th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. This will be benefiting the Tim Hall Memorial Fund, bringing backpacks full of essentials to the unhoused. So that's their second annual Bark Barbecue on August 9th. Cleanup at Moeller Park is going to be taking place on Sunday, August 10th at noon at the Moeller Fields located in Garden City Park. Join us for a day of community camaraderie and environmental stewardship at our park cleanup event. They're going to be laying down some dirt and some new mulch. All ages are welcome. Be sure to bring your shovels and your garden gloves. You can contact them at gcyafundraising@gmail.com. And free music. The Big Band is going to be coming here at the corner of Merriman and Maplewood, August 12th at 6:30 p.m. Be sure to bring your lawn chairs. It's going to be a fun night of music and dancing, along with ice cream. That's going to be located at Garden City First United Methodist Church, August 12th. And the Neighborhood Watch program, it's always back in business. The second Tuesday of every month, 7 p.m. at the Garden City Police Department. Be sure to share with your neighbors. The next meeting is August 12th. Just like he says, take a bite out of crime.
Mm-hmm.
The Garden City Senior Center is presenting the Detroit Institute of Arts Tuesday, August 19th from 12 p.m. to around 3:30 p.m. The DIA will be providing the transportation. The bus pickup will be at 12 p.m. at the Radcliffe Center. There's going to be light snacks and water provided. You can register for this trip at the Garden City Radcliffe Center or online at gardencitymi.org/senior center. If you have any questions or more details, you can give them a call at 734-793-1870. The cost for this trip is $5 a person. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. They provide the transportation.
The DIA a couple years ago. It was actually a really, really fun time.
Yeah.
And the Garden City Business Alliance, this is the big one. Another Music in the Park event at the up at the Garden City Park. It's a free event. You know this. The band info is on Facebook. Smith Factor is going to be performing on August 21st. That's going to be their next event. Shop at our Bisbee vendor event from 4 to 9 p.m. The band starts playing at 6:30. If you want to learn more, just visit GardenCityBusinessAlliance.org or go to facebook.com/Garden City Business Alliance to learn more. But that's going to be a huge event. That was a big turnout, though, for Magic Bus. I saw the pictures. That was a sellout.
Yeah, it was huge. Unbelievable. They got a hell of a following.
Big time following. I've seen them play a few times out in Northville. They're really, really good.
Yeah.
The Cruise and Hines Car Show. It's coming up very, very fast here. The kickoff cruise is going to be Friday, August 22nd. 4 p.m. at Timothy Lutheran at 8820 Wayne Road in Livonia, Michigan. There's going to be tons of raffles, vendors, people's choice, food, music, and space for over 400 vehicles. The actual car show is going to be taking place on August 18th from 3:30 to 7 p.m. And if it does happen to rain, the rain makeup date will be August 19th at the Village of Westland Senior Living Community at 32001 Cherry Hill Road in Westland, Michigan. If you have any details or questions, contact the car guy, Don Nicholson, at donnicholson.net or give him a call at 734-658-5296.
Yep, Don Nicholson, the car guru. And here's his big event here.
There it is, Cruise and Hines. Yep, Sunday, August 24th. Do not miss that one.
No, nothing but the classics.
And at Memorial School, they have a free Bounce Back Return to Learn program taking place Thursday, August 28th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. There's going to be tons of games. Looks like a fire truck there for posing with pictures, police with the canine dog, a petting zoo, hot dogs, a bounce house, face painting, DJs, and more. That's located at Memorial School at 30001 Marquette Road.
You're alumni of Memorial?
Oh, yeah. When it was Memorial Elementary, when it was K through 6.
Yep.
It's changed a bit since then.
Yeah, it has.
And the Garden City Senior Center, they present End of the Summer Luncheon. It's $10 a person, September 12th from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m., held on the Radcliffe Center patio. Ages are 50 and older. Join them for a luncheon and get ready for the Rec Center's fall hours with an End of the Summer lunch. Enjoy some barbecue and hang out with others. If you want to register for this event, you go ahead and visit the Radcliffe Center or visit gardencitymi.org/parks/senior social activities. If you have any more questions, you can call them also at 734-793-1850. And Dance Express is going to be having their tumbling classes coming up. It's an 8-week session. Registration is going to begin it's already begun, July 21st. Looks like it's taking place, the actual classes, from September 16th to November 4th. It's $45 if you're a Garden City resident, $50 for non-residents. Tuesdays, it's going to be taking place on. Students are going to be learning basic tumbling skills in a fun environment. Tumbling is the execution of aerobatic movements such as rolls, twists, front rolls, and cartwheels on floor mats. Students will work on balance techniques using a mini balance beam and various jumps dismounting from a mini trampoline. So the time frames are 4:30 to 5:20 for 3 and 4-year-olds, 5:30 to 6:20 for 5 to 7-year-olds, 6:30 to 7:20 for 5 to 7-year-olds, and 7:30 to 8:20 for 8 to 10-year-olds. You can give them a call at 734-793-1850 or also visit gardencitymi.org/dance to learn more. Again, these are taking place at the Radcliffe Center. And the Garden City Senior Center at the Radcliffe Center presenting Detroit Princess Riverboat Luncheon September 18th from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Cost is $63 a person. They'll be departing from the Radcliffe Center and the Senior Towers. You can see their website for the time details. That's gardencitymi.org/park/senior trips. The trip will include transportation, a buffet-style lunch, and riverboat cruise experience. The ages is for 50 and older. You can get your tickets online, like I said, at gardencitymi.org/parks/senior trips, as the registration deadline is August 17th. So you have a couple weeks left to sign up. If you have any questions, you can give them a call at 734-793-1850.
Yeah, Mrs. Chat's supposed to go on that.
Oh, that'll be fun. Yeah, I've been on the riverboat cruise a couple times. That's a really, really fun time.
Yeah.
And downtown Garden City's Lucky Squirrel events, they always continue. We've already seen the last two. The last one was in July. The next one's going to be September 20th. Arts, crafts, antiques, and vendors. It's free admission. This is a craft and vendor show taking place from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. So you got one more opportunity before the end of the year. So come and check it out on September 20th. That's Lucky Squirrel.
Yeah, it's like 150 vendors or something.
Wow.
And finally,
yes, this is a big one as we approach fall. The Straight Farmhouse is having their Farmhouse Food Truck Oktoberfest, October 11th at 6221 Merriman Road in Garden City, where they are going to be having beer, food, music, and vendors. This is going to be, I'm sure, a pretty popular event and a big turnout. So, yeah, definitely want to come out and see that October 11th. That's going to be hopefully some good weather that day and no rain.
Right. Yep. Sounds good.
That was a quick 33.
Yeah, good job. I just want to mention the August Marketplace came out. Don Nicholson and his wife do a real good job. Smith Factor on the front cover. That's the band for August that's going to be playing. So make sure you put one up at your favorite venue. They're all over Garden City. And with that said, I think we're ready to call this a podcast.
A hell of an echo in there.
What?
That's a hell of an echo.
Yeah. We want to thank all of you for joining us tonight. It was a pleasure. Special thanks to our surprise guest, co-host Derek Parton from DSD Sports Chat. Make sure you catch his show tomorrow night, right?
Tomorrow night at 7:00. Yeah, but we send out the invites here tonight. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you just want to tune in, we'll be going live right at 7. So a lot to dissect, kind of like what we just did tonight. A lot of it's going to be repetitive, but if you didn't get to see this tonight, you'll get the chance to see it again tomorrow night, and we'll have a little bit more of a venting session. So
yeah,
be sure to tune in for that.
Yeah, and there's your Facebook page, facebook.com/DSD Sports Chat, and your email. If you want to converse with Derek privately, you can do that as well. All right. Sounds good. Also, a big thank you to my fantastic co-host, Doppler Tom Iwinski as well. Does a great job. Mike should probably be back next week, so we'll look forward to that. Remember, this show will be available right after we sign off tonight on Facebook, so we hope that you'll catch it at your convenience, especially if you tuned in late, by going to facebook.com/GCChat. And feel free to share the show with your friends as well. Also, catch us on our YouTube channel. Just search for the Garden City Community Chat Show. You'll find not only this show, but all of our past shows as well. Click on the live tab and make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button. We would appreciate it. And at the end of all our shows, we like to thank all the healthcare workers, first responders, police and fire, everyone on the front lines who serve and protect us every day. We can't thank you enough. Be safe, and we want you to know that you and your families are in our thoughts and prayers every day. And when you see any of these heroes, please let them know how much you appreciate them. And as Mike would say, don't hesitate, vaccinate, get those vaccines. You're not only protecting yourself, but you're protecting others as well. Remember, the success of a community depends on the community, so please support your local businesses. And if you see something, say something.
Say something.
Right. We need to look out for one another out there. For all your weather information, be sure to head on over to DopplerTomsWeather.com. He's got a great user-friendly website over there. So we hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for listening. I do want to give a shout out to some of the people that were in there watching. Michael Bingle, of course, was in there. Annette has been in there. Annette what the hell's her name? Annette McNeil. It's been a long show. Also, Lee Zimmerman's in there. Mrs. Chat's in there. Dennis Dykman was watching. Let's see who else. John Sanborn. How you doing, John? Thanks for joining us. And several others that I can't see who is in there, but we thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed the show. If you'd like to contact any of us here at the chat for any reason, email us at gccommunitychat@gmail.com. We do like to hear from our listeners. Let us know how we're doing, what you'd like to see more of. Please join us next Thursday, August 7th. We're going to have a good show for you at 8 o'clock, live right here on Facebook and YouTube. Our guest will be Aaron Lacombe. He is a Texas-based Americana singer-songwriter. He is on the show and maybe sing a song for us. So I can't wait for you to meet him and learn more about him. So until then, remember, you can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/GCChat. And don't forget our YouTube channel. Just search for us over there and make sure you smash that subscribe button.
Like and subscribe.
And have a good night. What, Derek?
Like and subscribe. Always like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Exactly.
The cool kids say.
Yeah. Remember to tune in to DSD Sports Chat tomorrow night on Facebook at 8 o'clock?
7 p.m.
Okay, 7, an hour
7
early.
p.m. Yep.
Oh, sounds good. All right. Hey, good job. Thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Welcome back anytime. And yeah, had a lot of fun. This was definitely a good show to kind of get my venting out of the way before we start going off the rails tomorrow night. So I appreciate having the session tonight, kind of keeping things cooled down.
All right. Always a pleasure to have you, and get some rest tonight, okay?
Oh, for sure. Yep. Weekend's fast approaching. Can't wait.
Yep. Say hi to Rachel, and we'll see you soon.
All right, man. Will do. Have a good night. See you
All
guys.
right, night. All right. Thank you, everybody. We will see you next week when our guest is going to be singer-songwriter Aaron Lacombe. So make sure you check that out, and we'll see you next week. Take care and have a great weekend. Good night.